Horror is my favorite genre in gaming. Playing them are very enjoyable, and believe me, making them are much more enjoyable. The reason is, besides making and figuring out functionalities of game, you have to make people get scared. That takes a lot of effort and thinking. There are lots of horror games out there, but they are not that successful because they didn't put too much effort on design perspective. Making a game is not just writing code and making functionalities. You should also have an understanding of art which you can make satisfying and enjoyable gameplay. However, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make basic functionalities in Unity, which is a common in most of horror games. First-person controller and interacting with objects in the game. So let's get started. So I'm going to use my camera as a player. I am adding also capsule collider. I am just modifying the size of the collider and position of it. We also need to add rigid body for a first-person controller. I disable use gravity. Let's create this script which is called player and add to our player object. So let's declare rigid body in our script, and in the start function we get the component. So we need the movement Z, so we need to get our vertical axis, and also I am declaring speed for rotation and speed for this movement, and we are multiplying that time, that's the time. So let's go back to Unity and let's play. As you can see, now our player moves. That's perfect. The another thing now we should do is adding a rotation by our mouse. So I'm getting mouse X and mouse Y. So let's create a quaternion variable which equals to our current rotation. And we create another float variable for both x-axis and y-axis. And we add both of these variables to our angle axis. Now we can make this variable equal to our current rotation. And for the movement Z, the code I'm writing, when we are turning to the left, it should look at the negative sides of the axis. So it should look at the left side. That's the reason I'm writing the code. So we forgot to write speed, I wrote it. Here also turning around in Z-axis, so I have to disable that. Freeze the Z rotation. So let's get back to Unity and let's play again and let's see what happens. We forgot to add rotation speed again, and as you can see, our player rotates without any issue. But when we look up, it looks actually down, so we have to add negative in front of the rotation speed, so we can just make opposite of that. So the next step, we add our key object into the scene, and we create script for the key, which we call just key. We add key script into our key object. So we get our transform for player, and we're just making a variable which calculates the distance between our current position, which is key position, and player position. And we also should create a boolean to can take. Our player script looks like a bit messy, so I'm just cutting this code and create a new function which is called movement. I'm going to add this code over there, and we can work on update again. I'm getting our key script and I'm declaring if player takes a key, then activate the text, which is going to be press E to take the key. Now let's import Text Mesh Pro because text legacy looks very bad in Unity. Now we can just create our text. Don't forget to modify the canvas to scale with screen size. So we are just writing now, if the player press the E key, our key object set active false, which creates the effect we took the key, and another boolean that we already got the key. So when we press the E, have key equals to true, but as a default it's false. So let's focus on our chest. We're gonna create animation for our chest to open and close. So let's create a script for our chest. We're gonna just call that chest2, and the next step will be adding chest script to chest object. So let's start to create an animation. I'm creating a folder. I'm not gonna create a folder. I'm gonna just gonna make idle animation for our chest, which will be closed, and open animation, which when we have our key and get close to chest and press the E, the open animation will appear. Idle chest looks good now. Now let's focus on open chest animation. Let's test our animation, and it looks perfect. So we can just save that. And let's go to animator. Now I'm making a new parameter which is gonna be open, and I'm making a transition between idle chest and open chest, and has exit time will be false. We are adding our open parameter to our condition, and also transition duration is equal to 0.2. So let's get our animator component inside of our chest script. Another variable we're gonna need is player to calculate the distance between the chest position and player position. So inside of update function, we are writing if statement which detects that distance between the player and the chest is less than 0, and also player has the key to open the chest. So I'm making another function in here, which we are calling open chest. Which is gonna call open animation. So I'm declaring this open chest function inside of our statement, and also we are disabling our open text when our statement is true. So let's check our script to check everything is okay. We are deactivating key object when we press the E key. And I am writing in else statement that if we are far away from key object, our text disappears. Also, don't forget to deactivate loop for open chest animation. I also made open text. So here's it, as you can see. Press E to open the chest. And we are disabling by clicking that checkbox. Now let's test our game to see how it looks. That's good. Our text appears. And when we press the E key, our text and also key disappears. So we have the key. And when we get close, here text appears. Press E to open the chest, and we are pressing the E button. And as you can see, our chest opens. That's perfect. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. If you like it, press the like button, and please guys, don't forget to subscribe.